Welcome to War Bios, the podcast where we delve into the most pivotal conflicts in history, examining the strategic context, operational art, and human cost of war. I'm your host, General Biography, and today we're going to explore one of the most infamous sieges in history, the Siege of Constantinople in 1450. This epic struggle marked the end of an era as the Ottoman Empire, led by Sultan Mehmed II, sought to conquer the legendary city of Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire. To understand the significance of this siege, we must first examine the historical background that led to this momentous event. The Byzantine Empire, also known as the Eastern Roman Empire, had been in decline for centuries, weakened by internal conflicts, external pressures, and the devastating Black Death that swept through Europe in the 14th century. The empire's territorial control had shrunk significantly, and it was now limited to a small area around Constantinople, with the city itself being the last stronghold of Byzantine power. In contrast, the Ottoman Empire was a rising power, united under the leadership of Sultan Murad I in the early 15th century. The Ottomans had developed a formidable military machine with a powerful infantry and cavalry, as well as a growing navy. They had also absorbed the knowledge and expertise of the conquered peoples, including the Byzantines, which would ultimately contribute to their success in the Siege of Constantinople. The Ottoman expansion into the Balkans and Anatolia had been temporarily halted by the Mongol invasion of Anatolia, led by Timur in the early 15th century. However, after Timur's death in 1405, the Ottomans regrouped and resumed their expansion under the leadership of Sultan Mehmed I. His successor, Sultan Murad II, continued to consolidate Ottoman power, laying the groundwork for the eventual conquest of Constantinople. In 1451, Sultan Mehmed II, also known as Mehmed the Conqueror, came to power at the age of just 19. He was determined to fulfill the prophecy of his ancestors and conquer the legendary city of Constantinople. Mehmed spent the next 2 years preparing for the siege, gathering a massive army, estimated to be over 100,000 strong, and assembling a fleet of ships to blockade the city from the sea. The Ottoman army was a diverse force, comprising Turks, Greeks, Bulgarians, and other nationalities, all united under the banner of the Sultan. Mehmed also invested heavily in the development of new siege technologies, including the famous Ottoman cannon, which would play a crucial role in the siege. The cannon, designed by the Hungarian engineer Orban, was a massive bombard that could fire heavy stone balls at the city walls, causing significant damage and weakening the defenses. As the Ottoman army assembled outside the city walls, the Byzantine Empire, led by Emperor Constantine V Phramballiologus, prepared for the inevitable siege. The city's defenses were strengthened, and the population was mobilized to resist the Ottoman attack. The stage was now set for one of the most epic confrontations in history, as the fate of Constantinople hung precariously in the balance. The Ottoman army, led by Sultan Mehmed II, began their assault on Constantinople on April 6, 1453. The city's defenses were formidable, with thick walls and a complex system of moats, towers, and gates. However, the Ottomans had a significant advantage in terms of manpower and firepower. Mehmed's army was estimated to be over 100,000 strong, comprising Turks, Greeks, Bulgarians, and other nationalities, all united under the banner of the Sultan. The Ottoman fleet, which blockaded the city from the sea, added another layer of pressure on the Byzantine defenders. The Ottomans also employed a range of siege engines, including catapults, ballistae, and the famous Ottoman cannon designed by the Hungarian engineer Orban. The initial Ottoman assaults focused on the city's land walls, which were subjected to intense bombardment from the Ottoman cannons. The Byzantines, led by Emperor Constantine V Palaiologos, put up a valiant defense, but their numbers were dwindling and their supplies were running low. As the siege dragged on, the Ottomans began to gain ground, breaching the outer walls and pushing deeper into the city. One of the most pivotal moments in the siege came when the Ottomans discovered a weak point in the city's defenses, the Kirkaporta Gate, which was left unmanned due to a misunderstanding between the Byzantine commanders. A small group of Ottoman soldiers, led by a brave and cunning officer named Karaka Pasha, seized the opportunity to sneak into the city through the gate, catching the Byzantines off guard. The fall of the Kirkoporta Gate marked a turning point in the siege as the Ottomans began to pour into the city, overwhelming the Byzantine defenders. The final battle for Constantinople was fierce and intense, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. In the end, it was the sheer weight of numbers and firepower that told, as the Ottomans emerged victorious on May 29, 1453. As the dust settled, Mehmed II rode into the city, claiming it as his own and marking the end of the Byzantine Empire. The conquest of Constantinople sent shockwaves throughout Europe, reshaping the destiny of empires and leaving an indelible mark on the course of human conflict. The siege itself was a testament to the bravery and ingenuity of both the Ottoman and Byzantine forces, who fought with honor and determination in the face of overwhelming odds. The Ottoman conquest of Constantinople marked the end of the Byzantine Empire, which had stood for over 1,100 years. Mehmed II, now known as the Conqueror, claimed the city as his own and began to reshape it in the image of the Ottoman Empire. The immediate aftermath of the siege was marked by chaos and destruction. Many Byzantine civilians were killed or taken prisoner, while others fled the city in fear of their lives. The once magnificent city was left in ruins, its walls breached, and its buildings destroyed or damaged. However, Mehmed II was determined to restore Constantinople to its former glory, and he set about rebuilding and renovating the city's infrastructure. One of Mehmed's first acts as the conqueror of Constantinople was to convert the Hagia Sophia, the magnificent Byzantine cathedral, into a mosque. This act symbolized the triumph of Islam over Christianity and marked the beginning of a new era in the city's history. The Ottomans also established their own administrative systems, laws, and institutions, which would shape the city's governance for centuries to come. The conquest of Constantinople sent shockwaves throughout Europe, leading to a significant shift in the balance of power on the continent. The fall of the Byzantine Empire marked the end of a buffer zone between Europe and the Ottoman Empire, allowing the Ottomans to expand their territories deeper into Eastern Europe. This led to a series of conflicts between the Ottomans and European powers, including the Hungarians, the Poles, and the Venetians. The siege of Constantinople also had a profound impact on European culture and politics. The fall of the city led to an influx of Byzantine scholars and intellectuals into Italy, which helped to spark the Renaissance. The knowledge and ideas they brought with them, including classical Greek texts and philosophical concepts, would shape the intellectual landscape of Europe for centuries to come. In the years that followed, Constantinople, now known as Istanbul, became a thriving hub of trade and commerce, connecting Europe and Asia through the Silk Road. The city's strategic location made it a crucial center for the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures, shaping the course of global history. The legacy of the siege continues to fascinate and inspire us today, offering valuable lessons about the complexities of human conflict, the power of determination and ingenuity, and the enduring impact of historical events on our world. In the words of the historian Edward Gibbon, the conquest of Constantinople by the Turks is an event of great magnitude which has changed the face of the world. As we reflect on this pivotal moment in history, we are reminded that the past continues to shape our present and inform our future. The siege of Constantinople remains an enduring testament to the bravery, strategy, and fate that have always defined human conflict, and its legacy will continue to inspire and educate us for generations to come. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm General Biography reminding you to keep marching toward victory.